Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video, I'll be showcasing all 40 of the weaponized vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. There's a lot of them, and we can see every single one laid out in front of us here. In today's video, I'm going to be letting you know my personal feelings on each and every one of these weaponized vehicles, which ones you should consider buying, which ones you shouldn't, and by the time you're done with today's video, hopefully you'll have learned a thing or two. As always, these videos take a lot of time and effort to make, and you won't see them anywhere else on YouTube. So if you do want to see more like this, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, as they take a lot of time and effort to put together. If you want to see all the weaponized aircraft or other things as well, let me know in the comments. With that being said, we are going to get straight into it. And one thing I want to clarify is I don't count front-mounted machine guns like the Ardent or the STX to be weaponized. I know that by classifications they are, but I just don't count front-mounted machine guns as a weaponized vehicle. I think they're useless and nobody really uses them. So I want to clarify that right now. With that being said, let's get into it. Starting off, we have the anti-aircraft trailer. I don't really know if this counts as a weaponized vehicle, but I didn't really know where I should put it. The anti-aircraft trailer, in my opinion, is one of the most overpowered weaponized things in the game. Basically, you can two-shot a tank with this. It is the most damaging weapon in the game. You can take out an MOC trailer in like 8 shots. It's insane what this thing is able to do. So because of that, the anti-aircraft trailer is actually a really highly rated choice of weaponry. Unfortunately, you have to have somebody towing you around to actually make it effective. But if you do, this is probably one of the most dangerous tools that you can have access to in the game. Definitely worth a pickup if you have a couple friends to tow you around. Then we have the APC. I love the APC. It's a fairly fast weaponized, vehicle for what it is, because you have to compare the APC to the tank. And when you do, the APC kind of just comes out on top. The APC has a turret on the top, which does the exact same damage as the tank. You can use it like the tank. You can control the vehicle the exact same way. You can see that here. We're going to hop into the APC's gunner seat, and then it's going to allow me to move this turret wherever I want. And yeah, it's dangerous. I can just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. It has unlimited ammo. As you can see, I blew up that helicopter over there. It's really dangerous. And not only that, but the APC can go 70 miles per hour, which is quite a bit faster than the tank, and it can even float in water. So it's kind of got everything going for it. It can survive multiple explosions, I think upwards of 12 before being destroyed. So yeah, it's really fun. It's fast. It's got a lot of capabilities going for it. The APC is always one of the best armored vehicles in my opinion, so I would definitely pick that up if you don't have it. Now we have a vehicle that I would not recommend to pick up, and that is the armored Boxville. It looks really cool, and when this vehicle was first added into the game, I was pretty excited for it. Unfortunately, it just doesn't really have anything going for it. I mean, for example, the armored Boxville, you would think, is armored. It's not. It literally is not armored even in the slightest. As we can see, you can shoot right through this glass, no problem whatsoever. And same for the front glass as well. It is semi-bulletproof, but like who cares? You can just go right through the glass after a couple bullets and the person's cooked. Not only that, but the minigun on the roof is impossible to actually shoot people in front of you with because of how high it's mounted. And the worst part is that it can't survive any explosions. Literally, you cannot survive a single explosion. If Rockstar made it so this vehicle could survive like 3 or 4 explosions, I wouldn't hate it as much. But yeah, I don't recommend to buy it, and that's where my opinion will stand. Next, we have the Barrage. The Barrage is actually pretty fun. It's fairly fast. It goes in at around 114 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest armored vehicles in the game. It can survive upwards of like 14 homing missiles, which is quite a bit when you actually think about it. It has a front-mounted minigun, and it has a rear-mounted grenade launcher, which is pretty freaking epic. And it actually just looks amazing. I've always been a big fan of the Barrage. Plus, this entire panel here is completely bulletproof. Same for these pipes on the side. So because of that, this thing's actually pretty durable. In general, I would actually recommend to pick this vehicle up if you don't have it. It's really fun, and I think it's very underrated. So yeah, you do need, obviously, people to use the minigun and whatever while you're driving it, but it is still just a really fun armored vehicle to mess around with. Now we have every single of the arena war vehicles, and I'll be honest, most of them are the same. We got the big ol' long arena war vehicle here, which is the Future Shock Bruiser. I don't really care too much about this one, to be honest. It has lasers on the front, as you can see, and it also has a plow, which does an insane amount of damage to any vehicles. Anything that really touches the spikes on these Arena War vehicles die. Like if I were to run into this little weapon on the front here, or if I were to run into the saw blades on this vehicle, I would die instantly, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, these vehicles have a lot of different weaponized capabilities. But we have the Brutus here. This is another one that is kind of weird. Not my favorite of the Arena War vehicles, but it does have a lot of bulletproof protection, I will say that. The entire back and the entire side of this thing is complete. That's what I was talking about. You walk into the vehicles and you die. You have to be really careful when being around the Arena War vehicles because they can be a little bit annoying. But in general, almost all the Arena War vehicles are the same, so I'm only going to mention the ones which actually stand out to me. First of all, we have the Cerberus. This vehicle has a flamethrower, which I can showcase if we hop into it here. It's kind of sick. I mean, it literally has a flamethrower. Look at that. Oh. Well, there's the armored Boxville, not being able to survive any explosions, as I mentioned. So, yeah, pretty lame. But yeah, I mean, literally, it has a flamethrower, which is absolutely... which is epic. And it does a lot of damage, as you can see. So, that is something that you should keep in mind. I guess, oh god, okay, I may have made a mistake. Oh god, guys. Alright, I think we're good. I think that was the last vehicle that was going to blow up. Well, yeah, okay, we're good, All these other armored vehicles are still fine. These did not fare too well. They can actually survive multiple explosions. It's just because these vehicles aren't fully upgraded in the armor department, so that's why none of them are surviving too much right now. But let's make our way to the next of the Arena War vehicles, and that is the Death Bike. The Death Bike has dual-mounted miniguns on the front. Not only that, but it's one of the fastest vehicles in the game. It's actually really fun. If you don't own the Death Bike, or if you've never messed around with it, I would highly recommend to buy it. It's so fun to use. So, yeah, definitely consider that one. We have the Dominator, which I don't really care too much about. It's fairly fast, but nothing crazy. We have the, what is this? The Imperator. I always forget which one's which. One's the Imperator and one's the Impaler. This one's the Imperator, that one's the Impaler. And they're both alright. They feature similar capabilities. Again, they've got the front-mounted machine guns, and they've obviously got their weapons and plows. We have the Issy, which is this little dinky Mini Cooper here. Again, same type of weaponry. And we have one of my favorites, which is the big old boy, the Sasquatch. Now, the Sasquatch actually has grenade launchers mounted to the front. They are kinetic grenades, though, so they don't do an insane amount of damage. Instead, what they do is they kind of launch vehicles around. So you can see if I hit these vehicles with a kinetic grenade, yeah, they just get flung all over the place. So they're really, really fun in that regard, but they don't really do a lot of damage. Next, we have the... God, it's the Scarab. That's my brain. When it comes to all the Arena War vehicles, my brain always draws a blank. But yeah, we have the Scarab. This vehicle is pretty fun. Again, nothing crazy in terms of weapons, but still fun to mess around with. If you don't own the Sasquatch, by the way, it's probably one of my favorite vehicles in the game. So I definitely recommend picking up that one. We have the Slam Van, which... again, nothing too crazy about. And then we probably have the best of all the Arena War vehicles, which is the Future Shock ZR380. Not only is it one of the fastest cars in the game, going over 142 miles per hour, but it has completely bulletproof protection on the front if you are using the armor paneling on the front vehicle. So it's kind of insane. It can survive multiple explosions. It has the, the weapon on the front, so... out of all the Arena War vehicles, I would say the ZR380 is the best, and probably the only one that you should really consider picking up. The Sasquatch is a close second, though. The Sasquatch is so much fun. With that being said, now we go back to normalcy with the Kara. This is a vehicle that just has a mounted minigun in the back. I mean, it's kind of weird that it does, but yeah, you just got a mounted minigun. It's pretty fun to use. Nothing truly incredible about this vehicle, but it's a 6x6, which I've always loved. It's very good at off-roading, and it just looks really cool. Next, we have the Chernobog, which is probably the most dangerous vehicle in the game for anybody in the sky. The Chernobog features a SAM missile rack on the back, which basically annihilates anything as long as you get a lock-on. I'm pretty sure it has the longest lock-on distance in the game, and the missiles are incredibly dangerous, so yeah, the Chernobog is really fun. It's kind of useless, though. but it is fun, so that's what I'll say. We have the Deluxo, which is one of the best weaponized vehicles, period. The Deluxo is just incredible. It has homing missiles, has the ability to fly, and is fairly fast. So, yeah, the Deluxo is an absolute bop. A lot of people don't know this, but the Deluxo can actually drive 127 miles per hour on ground, making it one of the fastest sports classics in the game. We have the Dune FAV, which has a mounted minigun on the front here. Very, very cool. It also has proximity mines, which you can drop and blow anybody up with, so because that's actually pretty dang fun. We have the half track, which has its quad bofers on the back. The half track is obviously super dangerous, and once again also features the ability to drop landmines, which will blow anything up. It also has completely bulletproof glass on the front, which is obviously really, really nice. Even though it looks like that glass is being shot through, trust me, it's completely bulletproof. So that's also pretty sick. The half track can survive upwards of 27 explosions, which is kind of insane. Next to the half-track, we have the Insurgent and the Insurgent Pickup Custom. Both of these vehicles feature miniguns on the roof, and this one has proximity mines that you can spam on the back. Very, very fun armored vehicle. Just like the half-track, it can survive 27 homing missiles. Next, we have the little RC tank. This thing's really fun to mess around with. It has either a laser minigun or it has rockets. I love the rockets, but it's a very, very fun vehicle. Would definitely recommend to pick it up if you haven't messed around with it. We have the Menacer, which is just another version of the Insurgent. It has a minigun on the roof, can survive 27 homing missiles, and there's nothing really particularly special about it, especially because it cannot use the proximity mines. It also doesn't have any bulletproof glass, which is a shame because of how large these windows are. We have now the Nightclub Vehicles. Starting off, we have the Vapid Speedo Custom, which comes with a mounted minigun on the roof that the driver can use. It also has proximity mines which you can drop out of the back. And it has semi-bulletproof protection on the front. As we can see, this glass is pretty bulletproof for the most part, and all of this here actually counts as full-on armor protection, which is pretty sweet. So, yeah, the Vapid Speedo Custom is kind of a bop. After the Vapid Speedo Custom, we have the Mule Custom. I don't like this vehicle at all, but it does have, as we can see right here, rockets. So you can use those rockets while driving the vehicle. Once again, it also has proximity mines. And then to finish off, we have the Pounder Custom, which has not homing missiles, a remote missile battery on the roof, which you can aim it on anyone you want. And then it also, once again, has semi-bulletproof glass paired with the ability to use proximity mines. During nightclub sale missions, these vehicles can survive upwards of 3 explosions, but in a normal public lobby, they can't survive more than 1. Why that's the case, I don't know. They should all be able to survive multiple explosions, but Rockstar's a little bit lame in that regard. Next up, we have the Hauler. Is it the Hauler Custom? Well, I guess we have the Hauler and the Phantom Custom. This is the MOC cab, though, that we're specifically talking about, because as you can see on the back of this cab, we have machine guns, and these are really dangerous explosive machine guns, so you really don't want to mess with these things. They are really, really fun to use, and sometimes when I'm being chased by a player, I will actually call out my MOC and get in the back because of how durable this thing is, and then use those explosive turrets to just annihilate people. Actually, the explosive turret's the one on the front here. This is the explosive turret. On the back, those are not explosive. But yes, on the front, this one is explosive. So, pretty dang fun. Next, we have the Oppressor and the Oppressor Mark II. Not much really I need to say about these vehicles. Pretty sure you guys know everything about them. They have homing missiles. They're fast. They're dangerous. That's about as simple as it gets. We have the RC Bandito, which has a it's a little sticky bomb on the side of it that you can kind of suicide bomb with, so that's really fun. We have the Ruiner 2000, which is still one of the most dangerous weaponized vehicles in the game. It has 8 homing missile stock, but if you start up CEO work, right, if we register as a boss, we go to CEO abilities, we can start, or not CEO abilities, VIP work, we can start up fully loaded, which gives us an armored Ruiner 2000. It can survive upwards of 20 homing missiles. It's insanely overpowered, and it's virtually indestructible. So, yeah, that's why you want to get your hands on the Ruiner 2000, and because of that, this vehicle is very, very fun and kind of overpowered. Next, we have the Scramjet, which is just kind of a fun rocket boost vehicle, also has the ability to jump into the air, also features homing missiles, which we can see right there, so pretty dang fun in that regard. I can't really recommend to buy the Scramjet when we have the Toreador, but it is still a fun vehicle. We have the Stromberg, which is one of the cheapest ways to get into the weaponized vehicle world. It comes with homing missiles, which you can't see right now, but if we hop into the Stromberg, you'll notice the front of this vehicle has a little weapons thing that opens up, and then you can shoot the homing missiles, which is pretty dang sick. But yeah, Stromberg is really fun to use. It's fairly fast, and it can survive upwards of 2 homing missiles. We have the Technical Aqua and the Technical Custom. Both of these vehicles, as you can see, feature 50 cals in the back, and they're very, very fun to use. The Technical Aqua can float in water, just like the Jeremy Clarkson one, and then the Technical Custom is kind of just a worse technical Aqua. Well, there is one advantage, and that is it has proximity mines. But apart from that, not much else you can really use this vehicle for. The armor paneling does actually work, as you can see, but in general, it doesn't matter because the driver's right here, and you can still shoot him right through the head, and it doesn't survive any explosions, which is a bit of a bummer. If it could, I'd actually really, really like the Technical Custom. Next, we have the Terabyte. The reason the Terabyte is weaponized is because on the back here, you have this big missile silo which pops out of the vehicle. So, yeah, it is actually weaponized, and it is very dangerous, so that is something that you should keep in mind. We have the turreted limo, which has semi-bulletproof glass, can survive upwards of one explosion, and obviously has a mounted minigun, so that's pretty sick. We have the Conjali and the Rhino tank. They're both tanks, they're both very dangerous. I think both of these are really fun. I still like the original Rhino tank more, just because I think it looks cooler, but the Conjali is also very, very fun to use, and has a railgun after all, so the thing's pretty dang sick. Definitely would recommend to pick this vehicle up if you've never messed around with it. We have the Vigilante and the Toreador. Toreador is kind of just the better version of the Stromberg. It can survive double the explosions, upwards of 6 homing missiles. It has unlimited homing missiles itself on the front, which is obviously really cool. I didn't actually know this. Are the homing missiles hidden on this vehicle until you pull them out? Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess they aren't hidden. I just didn't see them when I was looking at the vehicle from the front here, but they're underneath it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Stromberg is incredibly fun. It also has a rocket boost, which you can launch all over the place with, so definitely a vehicle to pick up. We have the Vigilante, which is the only weaponized vehicle that uses homing missiles you can use in heist setups and missions. So the Dr. Dre VIP contract or Cayo Perico heist setups, anything like that, you can use the Vigilante. You can't use any other weaponized vehicle in the game that has homing missiles, which does make the Vigilante kind of the best in the game in that regard. We have the Weaponized Ignis. You might be saying, where's the weapons? Well, unfortunately, because I'm using Legacy Edition right now, the Weaponized Ignis does not exist. But, yes, the Weaponized Ignis, if you are on an enhanced version, does exist, and it has a mounted minigun on the roof and semi-bulletproof glass, so it's actually really, really fun. And then that leaves us, finally, with the Weaponized Tampa, which is basically just another version of the Weaponized Ignis, except it has a lot of weapons. First of all, you have mortars that you can shoot out of the back, you have a dual minigun that you can use all over the vehicle, which is pretty dang sick, and you have not homing missiles, but just mounted missiles. Plus, it has proximity mines that you can drop out of the back as well. So this thing is really, really fun, and it's still one of my favorite weaponized vehicles in the game. So everything considered, that is all the weaponized vehicles, guys. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to smash that subscribe button. If I had to rank the 5 best weaponized vehicles in this video, well, I would definitely have to say the Weaponized Ignis and the Vigilante and the Toreador make it into the top 3 because of the fact the Vigilante can be used in missions, the Ignis is incredibly fast, and the Toreador has unlimited homing missiles and kind of is the jack of all trades. Next, we'd have to make our way down to the Oppressor Mark II. It's not very much of a shocker that the Oppressor is going to make the video. And then I think to finish off, I'd probably do the Deluxo. I think the Deluxo is amazing as well. It's fast, it's got homing missiles, it's just an incredible vehicle. There's obviously some other solid shouts throughout the video, but I think those are really the 5 best. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!